Hello, 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 hello. Welcome everybody out there. Episode 4, Stage to Stream. So glad you're here with us. I know people are gonna keep coming in. You may be watching this live, you may be watching it on demand. Either way, it's gonna be a great show. We have some awesome guests today. I'm Hoskins. I'm joined by my co-host, Megan. What's up, Megan? And of course, our other co-host, Long. What's up, Long?
What's up? What's up?
We're here every other Monday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, 10 p.m. Eastern. Doing the show for you here on YouTube. Please subscribe if you don't. If you're here for the first time, subscribe. Hello. Because we really appreciate it. A little echo there. Long, where you at, man?
I am in the abyss now. In Litchfield Beach, South Carolina. It's quiet, nice. I'm outside sitting on the porch, ocean behind me, so it's a nice place to be.
Yeah, you're at the opposite of wherever John Oliver has been doing his show from.
In the white void? No. I'm in the complete opposite.
Yeah.
You could tell us you're anywhere right now, and we would believe you. So I guess we'll
dark.
take that.
Well, it's East Coast over here, so it's pretty late at night. It's 10 o'clock, so it's dark out. So.
Well,
Yeah.
You wouldn't lie about being where you are. You would make up something better if you were lying. So.
Yeah, I don't think Litchfield is anyone's first choice. No one really knows what that is. So
no. Well, that's where you are. Me and Megan are in sunny Los Angeles, California.
Yes, we are.
And we are
spanning the coasts.
Yes, we're going so far, and then we also have up in the northern East Coast both of our guests today. One from New Jersey, one from New York. So we're really spreading it today. I'm excited. I just want to shut up and listen to our guests because in sound checks they sounded so great. I mean, I'm just so excited. So Megan, can you talk about them?
Yeah, definitely. We had to keep cutting them off for sound check, and so now we just want to listen to the whole song now. Awesome. So as a reminder, before I introduce these two amazing guests, we're gonna interview them a little bit within this show as well. So if you have any questions for them, go ahead and drop them in the comments and we will ask them your questions. And if you don't hear them tonight, like if you ask like a really meaty question, it might end up in our podcast later. So go ahead and make sure you're subscribed to that as well. But I will now stop talking because tonight we have two really amazing artists. Long, if you could bring up them. We have Uton Onyejekwe. Did I say that right, man?
Correct.
Yay! Everybody say Uton's coming to us from New Jersey right now. And then we have Jarrett Anthony Bennett, which I think I also said right. Who is, yay. I don't know how I got this job. I'm so bad at pronouncing everything. He's coming to us from New York. And he is actually going to start us off tonight. So, Jarrett, whenever you're ready.
All right. What is it about her that makes me want her? What is it about her that turns me pale? It's something in her smile, something that I'll never understand. Her wild abandon, what is it about her that parts the water? What is it about her that hoists the sail? It's something in her hair, instructing where to touch. Why do I need her so much? This woman makes me cry. This woman makes me burn. This woman's eyes that cut me to the core. The hatred that I see has been reserved for me, and I want more and more and more. And that pulls me closer. What is it about her that tips the scale. This girl is all I have, so soft, so fair, so fine, and she's forever mine. This woman builds me up, this woman tears me down, this woman speaks that I can break apart. Now comes another man, pretending he can win her heart. Well, let him start. What is it about her? So slight, so secret. Something in the way she catches light. Should I hold my own or be alone tonight? What is it about her that jumbles feelings inside? What is it about her that mixes passion with pride? Could I live without her and let her go? How loud must I scream? No!
Yeah.
Yay! Hey. Oh,
Couldn't
thank
clap
you.
and click on.
Love that song so much, and you killed it.
Thank
So
Um,
good.
Also, it's such a good thing that I am muted and my video is off during this because I definitely was singing along.
Yes. Thank you so much, Jewett. We'll talk to you soon. Oh,
Yeah, and
man.
you guys, if you have questions for him about
About what? About anything.
about anything, go ahead and drop them in the comments.
Oh, man. I love Wild Party. Oh, my God.
So-
Well, I love that wild party,
Yes, Lipa's Wild Party.
not the
My
other
co-
one.
My college actually did it, and it was a phenomenal production. But I chose, and I was obsessed with it. But I chose to do costume crew for it, and so it was all of these like original hand beaded, super beautiful dresses that all the women were wearing. Which meant that no laundry could be done. You had to like steam everything and spot clean every night.
Uh-oh.
It was a bad choice. Anyways.
Well, how stinky did the dresses get?
It was a really, really, really good production.
You don't want to comment on the body odor? Okay, I guess that's
That's
fine.
rude. That feels rude.
Okay, well, we already know then, since you're not going to comment on it.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and keep this thing moving. That was What Is It About Her from Wild Party, as we said. And so our next song today is going to be from, what is this from? Oh, it's Stand By Me. That's our next song. We all know this song, Stand By Me.
It's
Classic.
it's also from Smokey Joe's Cafe.
Oh, and it is from a musical in Smokey Joe's Cafe. Well, let me shut up and let's hear you play it.
The songs of Beaver and Silver. Hey everyone. When the night has come and the land is dark and the moon is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, 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 by me. Stand by me, stand by me. If the stars we look upon should crumble and fall in the mountain, should tumble into the sea. I won't cry, I won't cry, no, I won't shed a tear, just as long as you stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. So darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble, won't you stand by me? By me. Please stand by me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so beautiful.
Oh,
both of you guys just have effortless voices, and I'm so jealous, and I love it so much.
and then add guitar onto it. Like,
Yeah.
please make me feel worse about myself. So we're gonna talk to Yutan and hear him sing one more time. Wow. What a range, man. That's crazy.
I have to say before we start talking about anything else that I got a text right after Hoskins. We decided what Stand By Me was from, and it was from my mom, who said the song is from my wedding.
Oh, okay.
So officially decided, everyone. It was from
That's
Patrice
important.
Ruggles' wedding. Let
Yes.
there be no confusion.
And was later used in a jukebox musical, Smoky Joe's Cafe.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Okay.
But of greater acclaim.
So talking about jukebox musicals, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with any of the verses going on with all these like incredible artists that are kind of battling each other in good spirits, just going hit after hit. Well, this week there was John Legend versus Alicia Keys. So find that if you haven't heard it.
Ooh.
But the music was crazy. They were on pianos back to back, socially distanced, and we're singing their faces off. And it was just amazing. So I had a question for you guys. And I know this is a hard choice because we want both. But if you had to pick an Alicia Keys jukebox musical, so a musical with Alicia Keys music only that has already been written, or a jukebox musical with John Legend music. And no, you can't combine them. You must pick.
Wait, but you just made the best option.
Megan, you go first, sorry.
Alicia Keys.
I was gonna say John Legend.
I just picked the lady. I was like,
That was clear.
more ladies.
Yeah, there will probably be more principal roles for females in that one. So
Yeah.
I would take either though. So real quick, you guys, I want us to do a fantasy draft of current or jukebox musicals that are already out. Now, jukebox musicals are not necessarily our favorites, but they serve a very good purpose in the world of musical theater, taking music that we already know and putting it in or on the stage.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like a story and other times it's just like a concert. But enough of that. I want us to select our three. Megan, we're going to give you the first pick. And then Long, and then I'll go. I'll be last. So the top three jukebox musicals Go ahead.
Okay. All right. You ready? Because
First pick.
jukebox musicals are not usually my thing, but I do have a couple favorites. So if anyone wants to help me, drop your favorite jukebox musical in the comments, please. But I do have a favorite, which is All Shook Up.
Okay.
So All Shook Up's my first.
Okay, well, I'm gonna take my favorite first then and take Jersey Boys.
Yeah, that's probably my favorite. I've had a chance to see it a couple times. Didn't really like the movie as much, but yeah,
No, the movie was not as good.
Okay, so since you took Jersey Boys, I'm gonna take one off the board that I haven't seen yet, but the soundtrack is banging, and I've got a good friend that has been able to be in it in the workshop stages, and I know it's been a great pleasure. But I'm gonna do "Ain't Too Proud."
Okay.
Yep,
Yo.
Temptations.
I did see it. I was catching flies. Like my jaw was just dropped the whole time because of the athleticism of that show is insane. Like I was like, I'm tired. I just sat here watching them be amazing. Anyways, okay, that's a good pick. All that to say, that's a good pick. I'm going to do one that just came out because I've been really enjoying listening to it. I'm going to take Jagged Little Pill.
That is a good one. I do like that one.
Nice.
Yeah, the soundtrack sounds really cool.
I'm gonna take "Moving Out," the Billy Joel musical.
Oh, nice. Moving out. Okay,
All right.
that's fine. I'm gonna take one that most people would not consider a jukebox musical. It's educational. The plot is pretty bad, but it's got a lot of bangers. Schoolhouse Rock Live.
How is that a jukebox musical?
Because they wrote the music
Before the musical, yeah, I guess he's technically right.
And they
But
had some
shouldn't it
bangers.
be of an artist who like?
No, jukebox doesn't mean that it has to be of an artist. It just means it has to be music that was released before. You can find Schoolhouse Rock music in a jukebox somewhere, probably a Waffle House.
Yeah.
All right, so my last
All right,
one.
Megan, last pick.
I don't know.
You got to pick one and then make a mistake and we'll win.
Pick one and then make a mistake. Thank you. I Million Dollar Quartet, literally because of one song in it that I love.
Okay, I'm gonna pick a sleeper, and it is "Holler If You Hear Me," the Tupac musical.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That's right. That's right. I know that musical exists.
Pulling that one out, dusting it off, and being like, "Remember this."
Number 3, the last pick for me is going to be not Mamma Mia. So anything that is not Mamma Mia, I will take.
You have to be more specific than that. You have to pick one. There's so many on Broadway right now.
No, okay. No, actually, I'll do Beautiful, the Carole King musical.
Okay.
So I can see my friend Dion. And also, I like Carole King's music a lot. So
Yeah, that's a joke.
And I've heard the story is really good in that. Really, I just want to see it, and I want to see a lot of shows, but we can't right now. Cool. Thanks, guys, for doing that with me. I'm curious, and even though jukebox musicals aren't our favorites, I think they have some kind of purpose, and they definitely sell tickets.
They introduced me to Uton, so because we should bring Uton back up so I can talk about it.
Let's ask some questions.
Did you like my seamless transition? Hey, welcome back. So Uton and I both performed at a company called Sierra Rep, and I was doing My Fair Lady. And then on their other stage, he was doing, oh my gosh, I forgot the name of it. It's Hank Williams' Lost Highway, right?
Lost Highway, yes.
Yeah. And so we met there, and first question before we get to audience questions. So are you from the East Coast?
Yes. Born and raised in New York and New Jersey, pretty much. So.
Okay, so New York to tiny mountain town in California. How'd you like it there? Was that a contract that you were like, I want to do that again? Or were you like, please make me leave?
I'll tell you what, I made a lot of videos in the show and into My Fair Lady. So I was glad to meet the people. It was a little, you know, little to be on the way to the theater. It was 2016.
Yeah.
It was a year, as we all know, and seeing different sort of signage going on, and I was like, all right, I'm definitely not in New York City.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what?
As,
There couldn't have been nicer anyway. So
yeah. Especially like right in the area that the theaters are in two separate areas, and like right by the theater you're in, there's one house in particular that was just very, very excited. Like,
to be known.
yeah. Yeah. I can't imagine that felt great.
We have a question from the audience.
Yeah.
How many instruments do you play?
Okay.
I love the laugh.
Yeah.
So I have a guitar. I play guitar. I play bass. I play the bass. I play other guitars. And then I play some piano and keyboards and organ, like all of that stuff.
All of it.
I think that's pretty much it. I've never done a class or classical strings.
Is there an instrument you would want to learn next?
The problem is I want to learn all of them next.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's one that I'd have a preference for. Maybe saxophone.
Can you learn the harp?
Oh, yeah, I wish.
I think you with your nice, nice tone playing the harp and singing would be phenomenal.
If I make a career out of that, I'm definitely gonna.
You could be the next great harpist.
Yeah.
We have another question from the audience. JT Ryder asks, when did you start in the world of music and how long have you been at it?
Okay. So I started singing in choir in high school. I didn't actually pick up instruments until midway through high school, and I was kind of joking around with it. And then in college, I sort of played them, but not taking it seriously. So I guess that's when I started, but when I became serious about it was, I want to say maybe 10 years ago. So since then, I've been playing guitar, piano, and stuff. But yeah, anytime you want to just pick up an instrument and start, getting better at it, you can only fail. I told
I like that.
that I failed. Like at least now I've gotten to a place where I could perform and not embarrass myself. So I'm thankful for that.
Yeah. Since you played a song from a jukebox musical, and since we just did our little draft, do you have a top favorite or a top 3 favorite jukebox musical?
I have a least favorite jukebox.
What is it?
So I I'm a huge fan of Brian Wilson and the Beach Boys. So much so that a friend of mine purchased me tickets to see the original Broadway cast of Good Vibration, the musical.
Oh, I forgot that was a thing.
Me too.
Closed as soon as it opened, but I am amongst those who can say I saw Good Vibrations, the Beach Boys musical, in a Broadway theater. It was actually my first show, and I'll never forget it. The confidence that I could do it one day.
All right.
That puts you in such rarefied air that was the first show you ever saw.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so much for talking to us. And we're going to hear you play piano and sing again soon. In one of my favorite songs. So thanks again. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Yes.
Awesome. Man, I wish I could play those things.
Me too. All right, we're gonna pull Jarrett back up, and he's going to sing "Not My Father's Son" from Kinky Boots, which is one of my favorite songs too.
When I was just a kid, everything I did was to be like him. Under my skin, my father always thought if I was strong and fought, not like some albatross, I'd begin to fit in. Look at me, powerless and holding my breath, trying hard to repress what scared him to death. It was never easy to be his type of man. To breathe freely was not in his plan. And the best part of me is what he wouldn't see. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of. With the strength of Sparta and the patience of Job, still couldn't be the one to echo what he done and mirror what was not in me. So I jumped in my dreams and found an escape. Maybe I went to extremes of leather and lace, but the world seemed brighter 6 inches off the ground, and the air seemed lighter. I was profound, and I felt so proud just to live out loud. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of. With the strength of Sparta and the patience of Job, still couldn't be the one to echo what he done and mirror what was not in me. The endless torrent of expectations swirling inside my mind wore me down. I came to the realization, and I finally turned around to see that I could just be me. I'm not my father's son. I'm not the image of what he dreamed of, but the strength of Sparta and the patience of Job still couldn't be the one to echo what he done and mirror what was not in me. We're the same Charlie boy, you and me.
Yay!
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I mean, thanks, Jarrett. It's just crazy how you can sell a song, man.
I worked hard on it.
So I want to give you a second to breathe real quick, and then we have a couple really good questions coming your way.
Okay.
So I wanted to talk to you guys real quick about the future of theater as we know it.
Ooh.
No, not really. I mean, kind of. But I just saw this thing. It was really just a picture. Maybe there was an article with words, but I don't know. That's a lot of effort. Well, for theater stuff now, I'm reading a lot of things right now, okay? The theater is a little low on the priority list. But I just saw a picture of all these spaced out seats, 2 by 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Yeah, and with like space in between them, single seats. Ken Davenport posted that, who's a huge Broadway producer.
It's a little difficult for me as a single person because it's all 2 together. But maybe I can figure something out.
You have to take like a friend or a roommate or something.
You take
Yeah.
pockets.
Yeah.
I don't think I can take my cat to a show. Long, I wanted to talk to you because right now the International Thespian
Yes.
Festival is happening.
Yes, the International Thespian Festival, or ITF. This year it was scheduled to be in, it was in Nebraska last year, and it was supposed to be, I forgot what state.
Well,
Well, it's not there. It is in an online setting now where everything is kind of pre-recorded and digitalized, and there's some workshops that are done on Zoom. It's very different, and it is an interesting take on the theater world because a lot of people are kind of stepping out and trying new things, and streaming is becoming really a popularized thing where a lot of licensing companies are offering a way to do their shows via stream. I don't think it is a substitution for live theater. I think it is a temporary solution of sorts.
Like an adaptation of it, basically.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And it's nice to have access to these kind of things, but I don't think it'll ever replace the magic that happens in a live theater setting, or even a live concert or performance setting. It's not the same. But the International Thespian Festival is a great organization. It's, if you were a high school theater kid, or if you know anything about high school theater, it's attached to the International Thespian Society. And so each year people can bring a show that is a main stage production, which is a full scale, large musical, thousands of dollars just to get the stuff out there. Yada, yada, yada. Or you can do the Chapter Select Showcase, which is a 40 minute piece, smaller set typically, They have some stuff there that you can use in their scene shops and to try to help offset that cost. It's a great experience. I took my kids last year. We were the chapter select out of South Carolina, so we represented the state there, and it was a phenomenal experience. I think that even if you're not a theater person, you should look into seeing if you can go. Or if you're not a high school theater kid, or if you are a high school theater kid watching this, find a way to go. It's worth it. I learned so much, and my kids learned so much, and they got to meet some really cool people. This year, Tina Fey is speaking live, and we get to talk to her. Miller and Tyson, who wrote the Fugitive Songs and the Burnt Part Boys and a couple other things, they are doing a live stream that I'm going to be part of, and I get to talk with them. This year, they got Andrew Lloyd Webber to do a pre-recorded workshop. And in his workshop, he's going to have Peppermint from the drag queen community. If you know anything about drag queens, it's all over. There's so many good people there. And I know I'm missing a couple, but like it's really worth it.
That's amazing that they can still find a way to try to deliver some of that awesome experience.
And it was affordable for this live stream. It was, I mean, like I say affordable, it was $200 for everything, but you could also buy day passes that were not expensive. And I think you can still buy those. But it's a really good experience. So me and my wife are looking forward to watching some of this stuff back. It started today. So I'm really excited.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
Shows in high school are like some of the most valuable, especially for people who don't end up doing this. They can still be like really important. And I know definitely for us, they kind of shaped what we're doing now,
Yes.
which is our segue to bring Jarrett back. Because, I'm interested for my personal question before we get to some really awesome audience questions. What's up, Jarrett? First question I have for you is like, what was your favorite show in high school that you did?
I'm going to be completely honest with you. I really didn't start getting into musical theater until I was like 17.
Same.
Same. I was a straight actor. I hated musicals until my senior year.
I wasn't even that. I was in the band.
Oh,
I was playing golf.
The drum major. Yeah, it was totally different things. But the first show I ever did.
Well, let me ask you this then, because this is an audience question. It goes right along with what you're saying. So what made you fall in love with musical theater and Broadway, and what made you want to do that from being in a band in North Carolina, wanting to do that? Like, what takes you there?
So it was around, I want to say 2012. And I was in the marching band, and I started to get bored. Like, I got really bored. And at that point, I really didn't know what I wanted to do in my life. I knew that going to school for band to teach could be an option, but my mom is a teacher, and I saw everything that she went through being the only African-American teacher within that district area. And I said, yeah, I don't want to do that. So one day, I was roaming the halls, and the theater arts director, who I'm still very close with till this day, she had heard word of mouth that I guess could hold a tune from what some people had told her. And so she told me to come audition for the school production of Dreamgirls. Now, I had seen the movie, and I was a big fan of the movie, but I had never seen the musical. So I went, got the role that I wanted. I actually played Jimmy Early, which I know I'm kind of young for, especially at 17. He's supposed to be like 40 plus. And I remember the first time we performed for the whole entire high school. Elementary school came, I was fine. Middle school came, I was fine. But when high school got there, that's where all my friends were. And I can literally count on my hands, my best friend, Rakeem Williams, my ex-best friend, Brandon Parker. Those were the only two people that really had heard me sing outside of family and friends. Well, outside of family. So I knew there was going to be an audience. So I was like, all right, bet, I ain't tripping. But when I opened my mouth and I started to sing and I saw the reaction, the people had never heard me sing. And I started to get that groove because I was really nervous. Like, oh man, I don't want to crack. Because I know if I crack, everybody in the school gonna play me. Because everybody knew me. And I was like, okay, they rocking with me. But when I started to get in the show, I was like, okay, I really can do this. And then I did a production of Hairspray, literally following into that, like going into that summer where I was Seaweed. And that's when I really understood, all right, this is what you want to do with your life. So ever since then, musical theater's been me.
It's like you found a superpower.
Literally a superpower.
You mentioned your best friend Rakeem. He had a really good question in the chat, and this is something that is heavy and it's going to require a big response probably. But I do want to say that's something that we're talking about a lot here at Stage to Stream, and we have some future content coming regarding this. But can you talk about being a Black actor in musical theater and how you feel about the Black Lives Movement right now and everything that's happening? And where are you at? And that's from Rakeem. Thank you so much for the question, Rakeem. Appreciate you.
Being a Black actor in musical theater, honestly, is one of the hardest jobs in the world because you're either scapegoated or you're picked to be the minority, unless it's a production company doing a production of Ragtime, Ain't Misbehaving, Jelly's Last Jam, Dreamgirls, Fences, anything by August Wilson that really centers Black people, that production companies need to put on because they know we really bring in the money, or you're scapegoated and you're picked to be the minority. Like there have been countless amounts of time when I have been emailed personally by a production manager saying, hey, we want you to come in for this show. But then when I come in, all I get is it was nice seeing you. And then I look at the cast list and it's only one person that looks like me. And honestly, I think I speak for every Black actor, actress, whether it's theater, film, TV, musical theater. I think I speak for everybody when we say we're tired. Because honestly, people really don't understand what it's like to walk into a room and see two people that look like you. Or not even two, you might see one at the time you go. And even in big Broadway productions, we're tired of it. We're tired of it because if it's not a show like an Ain't Too Proud or a Beautiful, they don't really consider Black people the way that they should. And honestly, we're just as good or better as everybody else. That's just how it is. So being Black in musical theater is very, very difficult. It's very tedious and it's very frustrating because we know the work and the effort that we put in hour after hour, day after day, stressing over last minute calls from agents to have something in at midnight and you might get it at 5 o'clock. It's difficult. And I'm all for the Black Lives Matter movement because I feel like it is a time that America has started to wake up, but they're still sleeping. And there's more that we have to do.
Yeah, definitely. What we decided here is we really want to make an effort to keep having content that focuses on it because this is a part of our life right now. This is something that we all need to accept as something we need to deal with, and it's going to take time. Right. It's not something we need to be upset about real quick and then go away. At least that's how we feel our duty as white people trying to help. And we could talk about, and by talk I mean us ask a few questions and listen more about this. We'd love to have you on the podcast. We got into a lot of this stuff with Dion, and it's just mind blowing because in general, this is a hard career where you have to be vulnerable all the time.
Yes.
And when you talk about those experiences, I mean, it's nothing like something that we've experienced, and you know, everybody has an audition horror story, but that's not even close to something that I've experienced. And then to feel, and sorry if I'm rambling here, but to feel like you're not even looked at as leading man unless it is a show that's already that.
Man, I have production horror stories. It goes a long way with me.
Well, I'm glad that you're getting through that and you're still doing it, and we can still watch you perform. And like I said, we'd love for you to come on the podcast and we could sit and talk with no time limits at all.
Yeah,
Talk
I'll
about
come on
everything.
anytime.
We'll love that. So please look forward
Because
to it.
it's an important question, though. Can I, before we move on, can I go a little bit off script? Will it throw you off too much to actually respond to the same question before you sing? Throwing wrenches all over the place.
No, I wouldn't.
But I think I'd love to hear from you too.
You know, like Jared said, it's, you know, basically a part of the life of every Black performer, be it theater, be it film, television, even the music industry has its very, very strong biases and stereotypes. So, any movement that is working towards actual equity and sort of atoning for the many, 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 many sins
Oh,
America's past is something that I think can only be a positive thing.
Definitely.
I think the thing that resonates most is the arts industry likes to seem very progressive and forward and defending people of color of these things, but it still has its underlying racism in the way that casting is done or the way that filming is done, because there's not enough leading men of color or leading females of color without them kind of falling into a stereotype of a character. And I think that having this conversation is a wonderful thing, because it's a start, it's a step. But one thing we can't do is we can't get complacent. A lot of times we get this outrage and then a month later it's gone and we forget that it ever happened. And I think that that's the most positive thing I've seen from all of this, is that the outrage hasn't stopped, and it's been months and months and months. I think that everyone is finally like waking up and realizing, hey, something is wrong, and it's not just here, it's widespread. So I'm happy you guys are here to have this conversation with us.
thank you for having us, man.
Definitely. There is no way to segue at all.
So
there is no
we
way
won't.
It's okay. We need to be uncomfortable. That's a part of it.
Yes.
It's all good. Thank you so much, Jarrett. Your song's phenomenal. Thank you so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
I can't think of a more fitting song right now to go to. So we're just going to sit back and enjoy this. Go ahead.
Yes, this is Make Them Hear You from Ragtime. A lot of musical theater friends of mine have been quoting the lyrics to Till We Reach That Day from Ragtime, which is an equally powerful song. This song, I think, in terms of galvanizing people to actually continue the movement, is why I love the message so much. So with no further ado, here it is with piano. Go out and tell our story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle, and how justice was denied. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. can say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white. And I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you. Go out and tell our stories to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. And tell them in our struggles we would not be only ones. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. Your sword can be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise his voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. When they hear you, I'll be near you
Beautiful. So beautiful.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's just bring everybody up as we say goodbye. Awesome performances this week. I could watch them all day. Thank you guys both for coming on. It really means so much to us here as we're starting out and we're trying to provide platforms for people. Great to have two incredibly talented guests setting a really high standard for us. So we really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You guys are both wonderful.
Yeah.
You and Jared, I hope to jam with you one day.
Well, I just want to make sure that you guys all know that this is just part of what we do. We also have a podcast. And in our podcast, we get into conversations kind of like what we started to get into here. And we'll continue to get into conversations like that and go deeper into all kinds of things. We're not just going to be complacent and make one statement about the current state of the world and Black Lives Matter movement and all that. We will continue to discuss and tackle this social issue and this issue. So if you guys haven't, please check out our podcast, and I would love to have both of you on at some point. I know Jonathan would too. You guys have been wonderful.
I'll come on.
We hope that everyone that has been watching would also check those out, because we would love for you guys to give us your opinion on what's going on. And the best way to do that is to, comment and listen or contact us on Instagram. So we really appreciate all the support. We really appreciate our performers.
And I just want to say, before we close everything up, next week, or not next week, in 2 weeks, on July 6th, our next show, we have a really special episode, I think. We're going to have a good friend of ours, JT Ryder, on, who's a rapper who has an album that he's dropping called The Mental Health Project. And we're just going to sit with him and do kind of a crossover episode between our live stream and our podcast and really talk to him about what he's talking about with mental health and our experiences with it and anything else we may talk about. So we're excited to do that in 2 weeks on July 6th, next Monday. And Megan, will you close us out?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you one more time to our awesome performers. Even if you're just at home, give them a round of applause. Just send that energy to say thank you. And thank you to all of you for tuning in, for asking questions, for liking, for subscribing, for being fans of us. Thank you for joining us for our 4th episode of Stage to Stream Live. Like Hoskins said, join us July 6th for our next live episode, which will be awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great night.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Thanks, Jenna.
And